What's up, guys? Jason Julius here, and today we're breaking down sexless marriage, what it really means, and why most of the advice out there is making things worse. But I'm not just going to give you tactics. I'm going to show you exactly how to rebuild sexual polarity so she doesn't just say yes out of duty, she starts wanting you again, craving you, without you begging or bargaining. Most men think sexless marriage means the spark is just gone, that it's normal after kids, after stress, or after time, and that they have to just accept it or try to fix it with date nights or better communication. But the truth is, a sexless marriage isn't about sex, it's about polarity collapse. It's what happens when your presence stops activating her body and your energy no longer makes her feel like a woman. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the real reason she's not initiating, not responding, or avoiding intimacy altogether, and the 5 core shifts that bring desire back online naturally without performing, pleading, or playing games. Now, I've spent the last 19 years helping men go from sexually invisible to being the man she undresses with her eyes. Not because he mastered a technique, but because he embodied a different energy. So let's dive in. Your leadership has gone limp, and so has the polarity. A sexless marriage isn't just about what happens in the bedroom, it's about what happens outside of it. If she's constantly the one initiating, deciding, or planning, or solving, then she's not in her feminine, she's in the masculine. And her body doesn't want to be taken by a man that she has to mother. Start leading, not controlling, leading. Don't ask her what she wants to do, set the tone. Don't wait for her to initiate, create the invitation. And don't just be open to whatever. Have a direction, whether it's a conversation, a kiss, or a weekend. Take her somewhere. This is where polarity is either revived or destroyed, because without masculine direction, she can't soften. And if she can't soften, she won't open. But leadership without energy is just logistics. And that brings us to what this is really about. She doesn't say no because you're unattractive. She says no because you're uninspiring. Sexual rejection feels personal, but in most cases, it's not about your body, it's about your energy. If you've become flat, hesitant, overly agreeable, or emotionally neutral, you stop being erotically relevant. Not because she's mad, but because there's nothing to respond to. Start generating energy again. That might mean getting uncomfortable. Speak your desire instead of waiting for permission. Hold your ground instead of walking on eggshells. Break the rhythm, tease, interrupt, disrupt the dead air with presence. She's not waiting for a perfect man, she's waiting to feel something. This is where desire and depth meet. Your woman doesn't need a flawless husband, she needs a man who moves her. And if you're not willing to stir that energy, you'll live in emotional silence, an erotic drought. Of course, movement doesn't always mean intensity. Sometimes the most arousing thing you can bring is play. You're pleasing her, but you're not turning her on. Men often confuse comfort with connection. They think being endlessly helpful, soft, and agreeable is the path back to intimacy. But comfort isn't erotic. It doesn't make her wet. It makes her sleepy. Reclaim the edge in the relationship. Don't be afraid to tease her. Don't shy away from her sass. Challenge it. Don't suppress your attraction. Let her feel it in your eyes. This isn't about being disrespectful. It's about bringing back tension. Tension is what pulls her body towards you without her even knowing why. This is playfulness with direction. You're not there to entertain her. You're there to wake her up. When you bring levity, tease, and confident disruption into the space, she stops seeing you as the nice guy and starts feeling you as the man who gets her turned on again. But all of that, the teasing, the tension, and the polarity falls apart if you keep avoiding the real conversation. You're avoiding the real conversation, so she's avoiding you. Most men don't talk about the sexlessness, or when they do, it's dripping with resentment, neediness, or emotional pressure. That shuts her down even more. Speak the truth, not to get a reaction, but to clear the air. Say, I've been feeling distant from you. Or you could say, I miss being close to you, not just emotionally, but physically. And say, I've been waiting for it to change, but I realized that I have to go first. Say all of this with spine and with heart, without blaming, because the moment you bring clarity, you bring safety. And safety is what allows her to stop protecting herself. This is where connection meets leadership. You don't just talk about sex to fix the dry spell, you talk about sex to reclaim the erotic truth between you. And when you stop avoiding what's real, so does she. And now here's where most men mess this up. They wait for her to come around, to say yes, to warm up. But that waiting, that's the final nail in the coffin. You're waiting for her to change, but she's waiting for you to show up. Now, this one might sting a little. You've been patient, supportive, and hopeful, but if you're honest, you've also been passive. You've been waiting for her to reinitiate, when all along, she's been waiting to feel you come alive again. Drop the waiting energy. This isn't about begging for sex, it's about stepping into the kind of presence, direction, and depth that naturally creates desire. Lead the energy of the relationship. Say what you want without apology. Stop trying to make her comfortable and start making her feel again. This is the integration of all 7 codes of primal masculine attraction. This is what happens when you stop outsourcing your erotic power and start owning it. Because when you shift, everything shifts. Her body, her mood, her desire, and that's when she doesn't just love you again, she aches for you. And look, I know this might feel like a lot to take in. You're probably realizing how long you've been waiting, hoping that she'd come around, without realizing she was waiting too, waiting for you to lead, to show up with edge, with depth and direction. If you want help stepping into that, go to elevatedlover.com and watch the video called Her Primal Desire Codes. It breaks down the exact instincts that awaken feminine arousal and shows you how your energy as a man activates them, not through performance, through presence. Go watch it and then come back to her as the man that she's been aching to feel again. Okay, here's what you just got. Not more tips on communicate better, not another trick to get her in the mood, but the real reason she's pulled away and the real path to bringing her back, not just physically, but erotically. You didn't lose her desire because you stopped trying. You lost it because you started hiding. And this is your reminder. The spark doesn't die when you've been together too long. It dies when you forget how to lead with depth, direction, and desire. Just imagine what happens when you stop waiting and start showing up as the man her body can't ignore. Now, hit the like button below if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more relationship advice, intimacy tips, and everything that you need as a man to be successful in and out of the bedroom. Comment below, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how these shifts might make a difference in your marriage, and I'll see you next time.